How's it going out there? Welcome from H2TechVideos. Today I want to go over the pros and cons of the new Kindle Fire HD. I just got this in the mail yesterday and I've been playing with it a lot to kind of get a feel for what's good, what's not good, and kind of give you a good overview of you know, is it better than the first one, what's different, all that kind of stuff. So I got a big list here, so I'm going to jump in so we can save some time. This video won't be too long, okay? So first things first, first pro, and I always go over pros first. Great HD screen, 1280 by 700 resolution. Looks a lot better. Quality is really good. Colors are a lot sharper, so that's a big plus for me. Second thing is it's a lot lighter than the first Kindle, and they've actually made some improvements to the design, so it's more rounded in the corners. So it's a better feel, it's a better grip, and I just like that it's rounded and not more like square like the first one. Next thing is more memory. They've actually doubled it, so where the original Kindle was actually only 8 gigs, this one is now 16 gigs, so it's nice. Of that 16 gigs, you have about 12.5 gigs of storage for all your stuff, so music, movies, books, pictures, whatever. You have a lot more space to store your own information, okay? The next pro is upgraded operating system, so it's a little bit more user friendly. On the original Kindle, there were only about 7 different options up here. This is actually your library section, and now they've just added more shortcuts. So for example, it's easier to download audiobooks. You know, it's easier to access your documents, offers. With Shop, it'll take you right to Amazon and basically let you, you know, shop digitally or non-digitally, you know. So I like that they added those features. Also, on the original Kindle, there was a little wheel in the corner right here where you would tap for what's called your quick settings. Well, they've changed that. That little wheel is not there anymore, and pretty much now you just swipe down the top, and this is, you know, your quick settings now. So you have all your notifications here, and all your quick shortcuts to volume, brightness, connecting to Wi-Fi, syncing, and your more settings right there. So that's just a big plus. They've made the interface a lot better. They've also added this favorite button here, so now you can set things as favorites, but no matter where you are on the device, you could be reading a book and this star is going to be in the corner. If you wanted to jump from the book right to the web, you can do that. So it just makes it for a faster experience in terms of jumping from app to app. The next thing is, well, like I kind of mentioned up here, there's actually built-in audiobook support now. On the original Kindle, when you wanted to download an audiobook, you had to download an app called Audible, which is Amazon's audiobook service. And then when you downloaded it, the app took you to the website. You had to buy on the website. It was kind of a confusing process. So now, with this audiobook shortcut, it's a lot easier to buy and it's a lot easier to access your audiobooks. Store is right here, and you can literally there's a custom design interface now for audiobooks. So I just love that because it's going to make it easier for you to find books and easier for you to listen to them, you know, without a hassle. Sometimes when it's too hard, we just don't want to do it. Next thing we have here is built-in Facebook and Twitter integration. So for example, like when you're reading a book, let me actually go to a book I have on here, or I just go to my favorites, and I'm currently rereading the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. And so now we have this share option now that will actually allow you to share it via, you can share different quotes or different things you liked about the book. Facebook and Twitter, it's a lot easier to just take it and share it, and it'll go right to your wall. So even things you highlighted as well, you can share. So I thought that was pretty cool because obviously social media is growing, and so they just made it a little bit easier to kind of share what you're doing and what you like about what you're reading and things like that. So big plus there. The next pro is going to be a way bigger app selection. I'm seeing a lot of apps on this one I did not see on the original Kindle Fire. They've even built like a specific Instagram app. It's called Instafire, where on the other one there wasn't really an app for Instagram. There were like third-party apps. You also have like Spotify. You even have this game, which is one of my favorites, which is Scramble with Friends. As far as I know, this wasn't on the first one, so they've really built a lot more apps for it or they've just released them so that you can actually do more now on the new Kindle Fire HD. So that's just a big plus for me, is a bigger app selection. Better speaker. It actually sounds a lot better than the original Kindle, and I'm going to do a quick test here for you. Let me find something to play. I'm going to go on a limb here. This is TuneIn Radio, and let you listen to local radio stations from your Kindle. I'm going to do a whole app on that in a little while, but not right now. Let's just find a radio station. Let me just type in one of my favorite radio stations. This will be a free plug-in for them, which is 102.3 Radio Free. And let's see. There we go. We'll let that load, and then you can. Alright. So, kind of hard to measure the sound over a video, but just trust me that it sounds a lot better than the original one. So I feel like they've put a better speaker on there. Also, when I listen to Netflix, the sound is a lot better. Now it's only it's a mono speaker though. It's not a stereo speaker. Speaker's only on one side, so it's as good as it can be. And unfortunately, a lot of tablets are not doing stereo speakers, but it does sound better than the original one. So that's a big plus right there. Next thing here, good standby time in terms of pros. Again, I got this guy yesterday. I have not charged it yet. I have not plugged it in at all. It came with the charge. I put it on sleep mode. I didn't turn it off, and I let it sit, and the battery didn't even really go down at all. So that's a plus, and that's an important thing about tablets. If standby time is bad, whether you're using it or not, the battery is going to drain. But since it has a good standby system, since I wasn't using it, the battery wasn't draining, so when I went to go use it, it was like, oh man, now I gotta charge it. So I thought that was a really great plus right there. So those are pretty much my main pros right there. Battery life's pretty much the same, around 8 to 10, depending on if you're listening to music or videos or streaming or whatever. So that's kind of similar. Let me go ahead and jump into the cons here. And we're actually doing pretty good on time right now. So the first thing, and a lot of people are going to be disappointed about this, and I know you are as well. It does have a camera, and they did a lot of advertising about, oh no, it has a front-facing camera. However, you cannot use that camera to take pictures. There is no dedicated camera app, and I didn't find a camera app in the App Store, which means you can only use this camera if you're using Skype to do video chat. So I thought that was a big ball drop right there. And I'm thinking maybe they did that because the resolution is not that great in the camera, but it doesn't matter. You're taking away people's ability to take a picture if they want to take one, whether the camera is good or not. So literally, if you don't download Skype, you're not going to be able to use the camera. And I've tried to use it with like the Facebook app, and I tried a couple other apps, and it will not let you take pictures. So just keep in mind, don't let the camera be a factor, because you really can't use that unless you're doing a video chat over Skype. Okay. The next thing, and I put this in every review I do, is no expandable memory. Okay, they have put more memory on there, but it's still nice to be able to buy your own memory card, pop it in, and be able to add even more. Maybe you want to put more videos, more books, more music, and you're limited to that 12.5 gigs of the 16 to put your stuff on there. So I'm always looking for expandable memory, and they just haven't added that support yet. The next thing is there are ads that are built in to the Kindle. So if you look right here, this is our carousel, and it shows like the different apps and things that you've looked at. But down here, these are basically advertisements. They're showing you apps that other people have bought, and a lot of these, they like to show you more of the paid apps than the free ones. So there's that, and there's also, let me go ahead and put it on sleep real quick. We'll turn it back on. There's apps on the home screen. So every time you waking up from being asleep, you're going to see an advertisement, and the only way to get this off is you're actually going to have to pay. Don't quote me, I think it's like $35 you pay, and you can have the ads removed, but unless you pay, you always have to see ads on that home screen at the bottom. So I felt like that wasn't really necessary. Maybe they should have offered just another option that was without ads, but I guess it's as simple as just paying the extra and getting them removed. But I don't know. I didn't really care for having built-in ads. So that's one thing. The next thing is the bottom right side. So I've been using this for about 45 minutes to an hour, and I've noticed it's actually getting hot on this side. So on the bottom where you actually have your charger and whatnot, it's actually starting to heat up right here, and it's getting pretty warm. So I don't know if that's a glitch or what's going on right there, but I've noticed the increased heat right here on the side, on this left side, or actually it would be the bottom if you turn it this way. So I hope that's not going to be a problem. I did read some articles that people were saying that it definitely does begin to slow down after a while as well, but after using it a couple of hours. So I didn't care for that too much because there is no there's no, what do you call it? There's no task manager built in to basically close apps after you finish using them. So sometimes I think some apps can tend to stay open, and they can actually cause the Kindle to slow down. So yeah, I don't want to ramble on that point, but I just want to say that it did kind of get hot on this left side right here, and you know, that is not good. Okay, so there that is. The next thing, one of my cons is there's no dedicated Facebook app for this. And I was kind of shocked. Actually, if you want to use Facebook, you do have to use the browser, and it's basically a mobile version of Facebook. So I was a little bit disappointed by that, because I thought that, you know, why wouldn't they want to build a dedicated Facebook app? Just knowing how big and popular Facebook is, why wouldn't they have a dedicated app for it? There is a dedicated Twitter app. They even built an app called Instafire, which is like an Instagram app for it as well. So, but you're kind of stuck here using the mobile browser here, and I didn't really care for that too much. So that was just kind of like a, you know, not really a big con, but just something that I didn't expect. Next thing is, so in the book, if we go to a book really quick, let me go to my favorites here, and Rich Dad Poor Dad, again, the book I'm rereading right now. This is not a big deal, again, but I'm going to put it as a con because other tablets around this price are doing it, and I expected the #1 reading, you know, tablet or whatever to have this. So, you know, the pages aren't animated, and on the Nexus, when you read with their dedicated book app, which is Google Books, or Google Reader, I think it's Google Books though. When you turn a page, the pages are animated. It kind of gives you that feel of like turning an actual page. So I was like, you know, come on, you know, that's something simple you guys could have added that kind of would have made it a little bit funner in terms of reading. So that was kind of like I wasn't, you know, it's not a bad thing, not super con, but I was like, hey, come on, how come they didn't add that in there? And again, not a big con, but it doesn't come with a wall charger. It does come with a USB cable. So you can basically sync it. You can actually sync it with your computer, and you can actually charge it via computer. So that was kind of a con that it didn't come with a wall charger, where last year it did come with a wall charger. Now here's the flip side. Last year it came with a wall charger, but it didn't come with a USB cable. So you had to pay separate for that. So now they just gave you the USB to charge with the computer or to sync. So it's cool, but if you don't have a USB charger at home, then you're going to have to go out and get one, the part that goes in the wall. There's one pro that I did miss, and that is now with books, certain books that you purchase, if there's an audiobook available, it's actually now built into the app where you are, you can hit play at the bottom here.
It's easier to simply say, yeah, he's
and check
right.
this out.
I agree with that.
Now,
or to simply
they've built the audiobook together with the regular book. Now, again, I bought this book using Amazon's website, and it's just really awesome. Literally, you can turn to any page. I can jump to this page and hit play,
is a liability.
and it will start reading that page for you. Check this out too. I can actually close the app. It'll keep reading in the background. So you could be playing a game, you could be browsing the web, you could be listening to that game. So I really, really like that feature, and you can actually come down here and pause it like that. So thought this was an amazing feature. I don't know who thought about it, but this is the first and only tablet I've seen to integrate audiobooks and regular books in the same application. That somebody may have done it, I just didn't know about it, whatever, but now I know. So I really liked it about it. And let's go ahead and just kind of wrap this up here. So overall, I like what they've added. They've added a lot of new functionality that's just going to make it more fun and interactive to use the new Kindle Fire HD. Again, the camera thing was kind of a big letdown. The Facebook thing was kind of like, maybe they'll build one later on, but I was surprised they didn't have that. And for some reason, the whole thing with the overheating on this side was kind of surprised, because I just didn't expect for it to get hot like that. Obviously, who buys something and expects it to overheat? And I don't even want to say it's overheating, but I know it's just getting hotter in that one specific spot. So overall, it's a great tablet. If you have the first one, hopefully this video will be a good aid in kind of helping you make a decision of should I upgrade or should I, just keep mine. But I think they've added enough cool stuff to where if you wanted to upgrade and maybe sell yours and give it away to someone else, it wouldn't be a bad idea. So anyway, this has been the pros and cons video for the new Kindle Fire HD, brought to you by H2TechVideos. So hope you found this helpful. Go ahead and like the video if you did. Make sure you subscribe to H2TechVideos and keep watching us, okay? Have a good one.